Hey guys, Bushcraft412 here, and I'm going to do a review today on one of my most beloved piece of backpacking gear. I'm going to be trying to do and get a whole bunch of videos out maybe over the next week or so showing some of my backpacking gear. You know, been a backpacker since I was a young teenager, and I've just accumulated like a decade worth of backpacking gear. And this channel wasn't really meant to be a backpacking channel, but I have all this gear and I want to do some reviews on it because a lot of this equipment is, you know, granted guys, you got to understand my audience is a pretty varied group. We've got bushcrafters, we've got backpackers, hunters, fishermen, preppers, you know, you name it. We got a little bit of everything on this channel. And this is just a really good piece of gear, and I want to get some of this backpacking gear out of the way because I have a lot of awesome gear. And I just kind of want to show it for those people who might have that interest in, or maybe even people who are just interested in learning backpacking, you know, who might be some of my my other subscribers. So this is the MSR Pocket Rocket. One of, in my opinion, the best white gas stoves you can buy on the market. Now, I bought this 4 or 5 years ago. Now, I bought this because I had a Coleman white gas stove, and that Coleman stove became a flamethrower. The regulator broke on a trip, and this thing just started shooting flames out like 3 foot in the air. Couldn't get it to stop. Only way I could get it to stop was to literally like throw dirt on it until the flames went out. It was, you know, it's something, luckily the canister didn't explode or burst or anything like that, but it was like a $19 Walmart special Coleman stove, and I had it for, geez, I probably had it from when I was like 20 until like 27 or so, 28, and it saw a lot of use, so it's not like it was something defective. It just got used and used and used, and you know, the regulator finally went and it turned into a flamethrower. So I decided I'm going to spend a little more money, get a good product, and the MSR Pocket Rocket is, at least in my opinion, one of the best on the market. It comes in a nice little triangle-shaped carrying case. I just wanted to show you. Very good for packing. It goes in your pack real easy, very small. Really like the case. A lot of the white gas stoves don't come in the case, and this one does. And that's it. Small, simple piece of cake to use. As you can see, this one's pretty well worn. A lot of use out of this. You just extend out the arms, screw in your gas canister, set it on the floor, turn it on and let it go. This right here is your regulator. It folds up. It's wire. It feels a little delicate when you first get it, but I haven't had any problems with it at all. You just turn it and that opens it and closes it. So we're gonna put this on, show you how it looks all together. Now this is one of the larger canisters. They make a smaller canister as well. If you're really looking to save on space, they make a canister that's about half the height of this. This one here, as you can see, was $5.99. The smaller ones you can get for like $3 or $3.99, somewhere in that neighborhood. So as you can see, it sits kind of by itself on the canister. And what you do is you just put your pot on top. I usually light a lighter, turn on the regulator. When you turn this, and the reason why they call it the Pocket Rocket, you'll understand if you buy one of these or use it. When you have this thing running full blast, it sounds like a jet engine. It just whoosh, has that noise to it. And the other cool thing is this thing gets so hot. These little end pieces here will get red. And you look and you're like, holy cow, how can that be good for it? But man, this thing just gets so hot. These little end pieces get just cherry red. In a small, if you use a small pot with a good lid, you can boil water in under 3 minutes. But typically, if you've got to use something small, it's got to be something with a good lid that it can keep in the heat. You know, cup of water, under 3 minutes. 2 cups you can get in like 5 minutes. You know, but guys, those are just guesstimates. what you're going to get for boil time is going to depend on how warm it is outside, the type of pot you're using, what elevation you're at, a whole bunch of different factors. But this is one of the quicker ones on the market. No, it's not a jet boil. It's not going to be as fast or as efficient as that, but man, does it boil fast. Now, white gas stoves are they're not for everybody. Some people don't like them because of the waste they create, and you tend to see a lot of these canisters out in the woods where people empty them out and just chuck them in the woods. And when you're backpacking, no one likes to carry something like this out with you. And, you know, I understand, you know, I don't approve of it, but I understand why people whip these in the woods, because this is a big bulky thing to carry when it's empty. So a lot of people don't like white gas because of the, you know, the trash they create, because let's be honest, a lot of people just chuck these in the woods. Now, if you're an ultralight backpacker, sometimes these make sense. Sometimes it makes more sense to use an alcohol stove, which I've got a million of them, but sometimes white gas can be more efficient. Weight on this is pretty light. You're talking about a pound. Sometimes when it comes to longer trips, the alcohol can add up. So sometimes it's best just to go with the white gas. I like white gas on kind of shorter backpacking trips because of the ease. If you're going to be on the trail for a long, hard day, it's nice sometimes just to make a quick meal or boil your water as you go. You find a stream, you can plop this down, get it going. You can have water boiled in 2 minutes and be back on the trail. Very nice. Works great for that. Cold weather, of course, white gas is not a good option for cold winter camping. They're very inefficient at cold weather, and you have to shake the cans nonstop. They don't work at full force. I never bring these when it's going to be below freezing. Only, you know, kind of warm weather, 32 and above. Now, as for putting pots on this, you're looking at, if you put a flat skillet, it holds it nice. If you put, I use the Heineken keg cans quite a bit. Nice little ultralight backpacking trick. And maybe I'll do a video on how to make them. Yeah, maybe I'll do a video on how to make them next time I go and pick one up from the store. The Heineken keg cans work great. You name it, everything works pretty good on these. The edges, as you can see, are ridged, so they do catch the canisters very well, or pots or pans. So if they are smaller than the base, they catch very well. Price on this, the Pocket Rocket, is about 40 bucks. If you buy the Jet Boil, you're talking about 80, 90 bucks. You can get the cheap Coleman ones for $20. And there's a bunch other in the $50 to $100 range. I think this is one of the better deals on the market. The canisters are common enough where you can get them at Walmart. Walmart carries them. Dick's Sporting Goods carries them. I've seen them at Army Navy stores, camping stores. Very common, you know, fuel blend cartridge. You see them all over. And although it's not recommended by the manufacturer, I have used the Coleman canisters on this with no ill effects. But like I said, it's something the manufacturer doesn't recommend at all. So this is a great space saver. Great for backpackers. It's something I also like to bring on normal run-of-the-mill car camping trips, because say you're cooking over a campfire or something like that for a weekend. It's nice to be able to, if you need something that's you don't want to fall in the fire, for example, to have this as a backup. Or if you don't want ashes in your water, this is a nice backup. So I do bring this car camping a lot as a backup. I've brought it tailgating. You know, you go to like a hockey game or something like that. This is something you can, you know, you can use in a parking lot to cook something up real quick or warm up a cup of coffee, whatever. Cool product, and it's small, portable, fits great in a backpack. It's one of the better investments I've made in backpacking gear over the years. I've used the Jet Boils, and they are awesome. I got to tell you that, but you know, at 80, 90 bucks, they're not affordable to everybody. I definitely think, you know, if you buy the $20 Coleman ones, they're going to work good. They're nice. You know, there's nothing wrong with them per se, even though I did have my bad experience with them. But after using the Pocket Rocket and how much more efficient it is than the cheap ones, I would not go back to a $20 one. Let's put it that way. I would rather save my money and buy a nice one than go back and risk it with another cheap one. So hope you enjoyed. It's the MSR Pocket Rocket. Great piece of backpacking gear. If you're looking for a stove, I highly, highly, highly recommend you look at one of these.